Hey everybody, and welcome to AniBreak 2.0. I'm Jason,
And I am Michael.
and we have a boatload of stuff to talk about today, including a review, but we will get to that later on. Let's just dive right into the news, shall we, Michael?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's talk about Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, however way you want to say it. I've heard it said 1,000 different ways.
Miyazaki pronounces it Ghibli, so
Ghibli, I will go with Ghibli.
I will go with Miyazaki Sensei's
Yes, completely.
pronunciation.
Speaking of which, he famously retired like what, a year ago, maybe a year and a half
About a
ago.
couple years ago, yeah.
But in that time frame, he has worked on a very detailed manga. He was working on a CG short for the Ghibli Museum. He's not really one to retire much. So when it was announced,
He retires like Motley Crue retires from tours, or better yet, he retires like Kiss retires from tours.
okay, that's a better example. I went to one of Motley Crue's last shows for their tour. I'm really hoping they stay that way.
Well, it's because Vince Neil, unfortunately, God's love him. Vince Neil sucks live. The band is epic.
Oh, the band is epic, yeah.
When it comes to singing live, Vince Neil can't sing live to save his life. He's too slurry. But anyway, that's not the point. We're talking about Studio Ghibli.
That's about Studio Ghibli, yes. So Miyazaki, when he made the announcement that he's coming back to work on a quote-unquote final film, everybody lost their minds because this is the master of, animated filmmaking. And yes, we could say it's his last time, but yeah.
Him
So
and Tezuka.
with this, they've already started, pre-work on it. Miyazaki himself has already done about 20-30 minutes worth of storyboards on it. So this is going to be a full-length feature film. He dove straight back into it like he never even left. Not that he really did. But sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say,
have you seen the documentary that they did?
the two-part documentary, I was on like NHK or something like that.
I saw it on Netflix, I think, or maybe it was Hulu.
It's on one of those out there.
It was chronicling the time frame where he made his final movie before this one.
Yes.
That had Goto as the voice of the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm wondering if he did with this movie what he did with that one. By that I mean the movie wasn't completed before they started animating. The story wasn't. He knew roughly where he wanted to go, but he was literally writing it as he goes. And apparently he does that a lot.
Oh yeah, he's known for doing stuff like that, which provides
so I'm wondering how complete the story is.
We'll have to wait and see. But we do know that he is already looking for animators to help him on this project. A post on the Ghibli website is for a job notice is stating that they're looking for animators for a quote 3-year project with Miyazaki. So rumors that this would be done in time for the 2020 Olympics, not going to happen, unless
highly unlikely.
Yeah, I really doubt it's going to happen at that point. So they are working on it for at least 3 years. The pay is roughly about $1,800 a month. So it's curious to see.
That's actually really good.
Who is going to pick up? Yeah, we talked about this last episode about the pay difference for animators because some of them only make maybe what $400 a month, if that.
Yeah. If you can get in on a gig paying $1,800 a month, you're doing pretty damn good in Japan.
Exactly. But the other thing about it is that not only is this job posting not restricted by country of origin, but also
skill set.
While Japanese language abilities are absolutely necessary, of course, no relevant experience is necessary. Although inexperienced employees are expected to learn all required skills during a 6-month training period. So,
if I thought I could draw at all, I would like totally try it. I'm half tempted to tell Nikki, but I think she'd freak the hell out.
Next episode, you guys are moving to Japan for 3 years.
No, my wife's moving to Japan.
You won't be able to join.
I'll have to stay here with the dog.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. So
I don't think they'll let us bring a husky into Japan.
No, I highly doubt it. But yes,
I could work from there.
You could. Well, but back to the film itself. They already started to grab more people to start working on this, so we're probably expecting 2021 for this movie to come out. And given the fact that Miyazaki is 76 years old, this may actually be his quote unquote final film.
Miyazaki Sensei, if you die, I will find the spell book. I will resurrect you and make you finish this movie. Do not pull what another animator that I really, really loved. Oh God, what was his name? Not Murata, because he's alive.
Yeah, Murata died. Wait a minute. No, he didn't.
No. Murata, Ranji Murata's still around. There was another one. I want to say it's the guy who did worked on Metropolis, but that isn't it. Oh God, I forget his name, because we got Expo got approached to contribute towards it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh well.
And turned it down, foolishly. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Don't pull that.
Yeah.
You need to survive.
I'm gonna hope that he's like, in the unfortunate but inevitable moment that he is going to pass, that he's pulled a Prince, where he's gonna be like, he's gonna go through his house and his belongings and find a small vault that has like decades worth of stuff that has never been seen by the public.
Didn't they already kind of do some of that with him?
Kind of a little bit here. There's some of his original sketches and drawings and whatnot.
Oh,
but I'm saying like,
well, they did something like that with Tezuka too.
Yes, they did.
They found Tezuka's notes.
Mm-hmm. And that's
including
the thing.
Like, the naked mouse pics.
Could you imagine them doing something like that and then Ghibli trying to turn around for the next 10, 15 years and just like making all these movies based on Miyazaki's notes?
Based on his notes, that would be epic.
Yeah, that would be epic.
That being said, we're not in any hurry to have him die.
No, not at all.
You need to stick around.
Besides, he needs to create new worlds, which will go for a new venture that Studio Ghibli has been working on. Besides,
which is funny you should mention that.
Yes,
because apparently they're getting ready to open a Ghibli park. They announced their plans to open Ghibli Park in Aichi's Expo Park. Park's previously hosted Studio Ghibli exhibitions and currently has a replica of the house from My Neighbor Totoro in it. Need to go see this house.
Yes.
With that in mind, the new park will create the new world of My Neighbor Totoro, and is expected to open in 2020. They also, this will be in addition to the Studio Ghibli Museum in Mikata.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be more places you could go to get your Ghibli on.
Yeah,
that sounded wrong.
This whole well, given the fact that this is all going to be surrounded by My Neighbor Totoro for starters, and they're actually going to try to use the existing landscape as part of it, so they're not going to try to fell as many, a lot of trees.
That would be awesome. I mean, I think it's got potential to be really freaking cool. What I'd also love to see would be if they take that and expand it, or like if one of those, how they got those ninja parks.
Mm-hmm.
If one of those ninja parks is starting to go under, take it over, turn it into the Mononoke Hime.
Well, I mean, that is always possible because, hear me out on this.
That would be epic. You gotta admit.
Studio Ghibli and the Aichi Prefecture have already agreed to fund the operating company that's going to be in charge of this park. So if you have a very successful park, because they are planning this to have both domestic and international tourism, because let's face it, the Studio Ghibli Museum is backed, to get tickets is backed up months in advance.
Oh yeah. It's going to be yet another otaku mecca.
Exactly. And so if they've already done well with the Ghibli Museum, they're going to do well with the Ghibli Park. Just imagine them saying, well, let's start using these funds. We have a company that's organizing and running these things. Let's make some other stuff going on.
Yeah.
They could.
Let's do Mononoke Hime. Let's do The Village.
Yes.
Let's do, oh God, can you imagine a Spirited Away restaurant? I'd love to do that as a restaurant, but you know how hard it would be to do that?
Oh, that would be ridiculous. But imagine the full bathhouse experience there.
And then have things like animatronic critters that go by periodically, and a little no face handing out chocolates, and
have Haku actually act, but it's like on a kite fly by.
Yeah,
just some random thing. It could be awesome. Is this basically going to turn into like another Disney kind of thing? Probably nowhere near that level of
complexity.
Not complexity, but commercialism. But it will still be.
I apologize for the train that's about to go by.
But it will be something that people, like you said, around the world are going to want to check this out. It is going to be another otaku
mecca. It's going to be yet another otaku mecca. I guarantee it.
That's going to be awesome. And I'll wait. And of course, it's right in time for the 2020 Olympics that Japan is, coincidentally hosting. So
you think?
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Though what's interesting is you go from that and a lot of stuff to go with the international tourism and stuff. There's a lot of another weird trend you've been seeing in Japan has been people adapting live action versions of anime.
Mm-hmm. Some to better effect than others. We won't talk about some of the U.S. versions.
Death Note was pretty awesome, though.
Which one?
The Death Note movie, the first one.
Oh yeah.
As well as Gantz has done really well.
Gantz has done really well. Yeah.
I heard Yamato did pretty good, despite
Yamato was
SMAP.
gorgeous.
And another really good one was oh god, I just had it in my brain and I lost it. Hang on.
Can't remember.
Screw it. Go on.
Okay, no worries.
There's another one coming out, I hear.
Yes. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is getting a live action adaptation from the 4th arc, I want to call it. It's the Diamond is Unbreakable. And the reason why we are talking about this is because this particular one is actually hitting the worldwide film circuit. Usually you have a lot of people that just stay, like these type of films, stay within, the country of origin. You'll have a couple small little bits here and there outside of the country, but this is, they're actively taking it out in the world on a tour before it even
they're going on the road
releases in Japan. I think this August.
Outlaw anime, woo!
So this is the latest film from I guess you can call him a visionary director, Takahashi Miike. We'll go through his.
Okay, see, I saw that and I'm like, Takashi Miike. Wait a minute, isn't that? Oh wait, it's Takashi Miike, not Takeshi. Never mind. Because Beat Takeshi's real name is Takeshi
Miike. Yes, not this is not Beat Takeshi did this.
Wait a minute, Beat Takeshi's doing an anime adaptation?
Well, he has done some in the past, but we'll get to that part. We'll get to
if he was gonna do one, JoJo's would be the one.
Yeah, but although Miike, I think has him beat. I think he's gonna be a little better for it. But we'll get to his past in a moment. His past works. But this will actually have its world premiere at the Neuchâtel International Film Festival in Sweden, and then actually jump the pond over to Canada in Montreal for the Fantasia International Film Festival, where it's actually to be entered as a competitive piece. So this is actually going to go after those international awards very fast, very aggressively.
I wonder if it'll make the Santa Barbara.
Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. But this one stars Kento Yamazaki as Josuke Higashika. I always forget these last names, how to spell them correctly. He is thrust into the world of supernatural powers known as trance.
Higashikata.
Here's the thing, though. If I tried to explain JoJo's Bizarre Adventure any farther than that, it would take a very long time. I am a fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I will freely admit it is out there in terms of
it's appropriately titled.
Yes,
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is bizarre
completely.
I mean, there's a quote from it that my son is saying. He's like always going around going, "The world."
Yes,
which is a uniquely JoJo thing, apparently.
Mm-hmm. No, it totally is. If you guys haven't read the manga or watch the anime, I believe both are available on Crunchyroll. So you definitely want to look into that. It's interesting because with each story arc, it's actually another generation of the same family and how just absolutely batshit crazy things happen. But with this live action adaptation, the trailer already came out. It actually looks accurate. It looks good. They're going to take...
Really? Because I'm wondering how they're going to do the big blue guy.
Well, there's plenty of CG around for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's got to be a lot of CG.
Yeah, but not to mention the giant purple pompadour was just so well done with a nice wig. Come on, it works so well. It was great in the manga. It was great in the anime. I did not think they could do that well in the in live action, but I was proven wrong.
That's the same character designer that did Fist of the North Star, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Because that looks very Fist of the North Star. Speaking of horrible animated live action adaptations. God, the only thing worse was Dragon Ball.
We don't speak about that because that was just a thing that should have never existed. It's like Matrix 2 and 3. Only the first one ever existed. Yeah. So there's always a possibility because of this movie making the International Film Festival circuit. There's a good chance we'll start seeing it here in the States. I'm looking forward to that possibility.
Oh yeah, and they always, at least, and it's one of the areas where you're lucky to still be in SoCal.
Mm-hmm.
Is I know the LA Film Festival always does a lot of.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff.
There's a huge Asian film festival.
That's where we got to see Rurouni Kenshin.
Yes, So
And the when the Amagatas movie came out, we saw that there too.
it was done over at the Egyptian, right?
Kenshin was at the Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
The Amagatas movie was, I want to say the El Cap. No, it wasn't the El Cap.
Somewhere
Because the
around
El Cap's owned by
that
Disney
area.
now.
Hmm.
It's across the street and over a couple blocks.
Okay. But Takashi Miike, the director of this, has been around for a very long time. Has been directing films since like the very early '90s. And he's done a lot of stuff that has actually become worldwide phenomenon. At least, one of his most popular ones. Which one was it? No, not Dead or Alive. Although that was a really bad but funny movie. It was
The Eric Roberts version.
No. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? This is not the night for us to remember.
Oh yeah,
stuff
we're having
today.
mental pause. I have an excuse. I just turned 50 this week, so
That means nothing. Ichi the Killer.
yes.
yeah.
Oh wow, that was a weird movie.
Oh yeah, that was like 2000, 2001. I want to remember. But he's also done other movies, Pandora, Shangri-La. But they run the gamut from very weird avant-garde stuff to family-friendly. He directed the live-action Ace Attorney movie, for crying out loud, and then goes around and so I mean it goes all over the place. He's done a couple Ultraman movies, Zatoichi, a couple of those, the Zebraman movies. Huh?
You said Zatoichi. Do you mean Zatoichi?
Yes, Zatoichi's. My apologies. My
Okay.
pronunciation is horrible tonight. He did a live-action adaptation of a manga, Terra for Mars, which turned into a popular anime as well. Like, he's all over the place. So, I'm looking forward to this. If you haven't seen the anime, if you enjoyed Ichi the Killer, you'll probably enjoy the weirdness of this film. Michael, have you ever watched any of JoJo? I know you're aware of it.
I unfortunately have not had the pleasure. I've seen a couple. I've seen memes based on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the Zaworld thing that my
Wow.
son likes to do. But no, I haven't seen.
It's
Haven't been blessed with seeing any of it, sadly.
It's out there. It's fun. And you get things like, zombie Nazis in there and whatnot. And those are the good guys.
Zombie Nazis. Everybody loves zombie
But
Nazis.
zombie Nazis are the good guys in one story arc.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's great.
The only thing better than zombie Nazis are zombie vampires, but that's
Which are also
Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's pretty much all I got to say about
Speaking
this
of
one.
which, Hirano's new thing after they did after Hellsing,
Drifters.
Drifters.
Yes.
That's a interesting show.
I enjoy that so much.
We need to review that sometime.
Let's add it to the list.
Okay.
But let's talk about some video games because E3 is very close upon us. Like,
Oh my god,
within 2 weeks?
Yeah, we're on its doorstep. And there's an interesting thing that Nintendo did. They basically, in advance of the E3, they've revealed some more details about their upcoming online service for the console / handheld / what the hell am I hybrid.
Whatever it is, it's awesome. I play it
The
almost
Switch.
every day.
Do you play the Switch?
Oh yeah,
Did you get one?
I got
Okay, I
one
thought you-
day of, and as of
Bastard.
just earlier this week, I finally beat Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It took me 130 hours to beat it.
Well, unlike for the online service, unlike other ones, it's not gonna be hosted on the system,
Mm-mm.
but it's a smartphone app. So gamers will be able to interact with friends via text chat, voice chat, and other quote unquote lobby features. And what's impressive is the cost. It's only going to cost $20 a year,
Mhm.
and that in and of itself is cool. But
True.
you also get free versions of classic Nintendo games with added online features. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be like Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, they already came out. Basically, said things like Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, Super Mario Brothers 3. These are the games that have come out with added online features. So basically, online
probably
multiplayer for Super
leaderboards
Mario
of
Brothers 3.
achievements.
Yeah. So stuff like that. I mean, it's the classic stuff with a little bit of a twist to it. It is very, very inexpensive.
Yeah, I don't have a Switch.
Mhm.
I've contemplated one, but there isn't anything that just screams I have to get it. Although on video game sad news, unfortunately, they have effectively killed support for the PS3 completely now.
Yeah, they finally stopped production of the PS3.
Which is upsetting because I can't go to the PS3 store anymore, which is really annoying.
Oh, they even
Um,
cut that part off too?
oh, it's been cut off for a while.
Yeah.
I've tried every time I've tried to get into the PS3, the PSN store
Uh-huh.
on my PS3 for the last 3-4 months. No connect. It won't connect.
Wow. Huh.
It's I can still go get like other apps and stuff, but the actual getting into the store, no can do.
Interesting.
I have to do it all on my 4.
Uh,
But
Well,
on that note, speaking of video games and things going weird places, there's an interesting not live action. I'm sorry, a new iOS game that I know I'm going to be playing day one. Tell me about it, please.
Sure. We're talking about Fate Grand Order. This is actually a brand new smartphone-based RPG game. That
Brand
has
new to the U.S.
Well, brand new to the U.S. Yes, because this was launched in Japan in 2015, and since then it's been downloaded over 8 million times. This game is a fully licensed game. You have all the animators and directors who have worked on the past Fate series. They have all their aspects placed in this game itself.
Well, yeah, Type Moon's actually one of the producers on it, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. They're the creator of this
One of the
RPG.
active creators on it.
Yeah. So to help out with this, Aniplex USA has launched an online campaign to promote the localization and the release of Fate Grand Order here in the States as well as in Canada. Now, in this game, basically, players take on the role of master to create a team of servants from the Fate series, including a lot of fan favorites and a couple original characters as well. It also
they created a whole new class for it.
Mm-hmm. And this thing has gotten so popular that it's quintessentially Japanese popular when they create a stage play for it, which is like anything popular has a stage play.
I
over
heard
in
that
Japan.
was coming and I cracked the hell up.
But also there was a TV anime special. It's about 75 minutes long that aired earlier on this year, and you can actually still watch it on. I think Aniplex is hosting it. Crunchyroll has it. Daisuke has it, which has been confirmed. There's more of that on the way. We'll get to that in a little bit. But this online campaign that Aniplex USA has been hosting on their Facebook page actually adjusts the amounts of bonuses players will receive depending on the amount of likes they get for their Facebook page itself. Things like you get additional hero crystals, you get more Saint Quartz, you get additional friend points. It depends on how many likes this page gets. Anywhere from
how many likes the page gets, or how many likes your post gets?
The page gets itself.
Okay, because I found the thing, because when I went to the page and it told me, because that's not the Facebook page. Never mind. Hold on. No, yeah, because I go on it and it tries to. It tells me to post to Facebook. It doesn't give me the option to.
There's actually if you search for Fate Grand Order USA on Facebook, you actually get to their official page itself. I think it's actually fatego.usa that you can find it. Is that their official Facebook link itself? Currently, they're at 36,861 likes at this point. People liking their page, and they have points systems and tiers all the way up to 50,000 likes. So I really think they're actually going to get to it and then some. So it'll be very interesting to see how this comes about. This game will release simultaneously on both iOS and Android devices this summer. They haven't given an exact release date yet, but it is coming very soon. This game looks fun. There's a boatload of trailers out, and because the game's been out since 2015 in Japan, there are a lot of people who actually probably played the Japanese version. Now, if you're thinking about you can transfer your data over to the English version, you can't, unfortunately. But you will have the option to play both the Japanese and the English version. They're not going to try to lock it down at that point. So, what do you think, Michael? We're gonna be this is gonna be the next big thing that we're gonna sink all our time into.
Probably. I'll be honest. I've kind of been waxing in my playing of Pokemon Go. I'm level 29. I'm halfway through level 29.
Okay.
But I haven't been playing it as much the last few weeks. Because I got caught up in an audiobook series that I just really loved.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
But speaking of Fate Go and whatnot, the anime that they released, that's what we're going to review this week.
Yes.
So uh, you've watched it, I've watched it. Um, I ran the idea of some of it. Actually, that's not true. She came in about halfway through me watching it. My wife, Nikki, whom many of you who've watched our other shows know, um, she among her unusual obsessions is Shiro.
Mm-hmm.
She obsesses over Shiro, but she also is heavily into the Fate series.
Right.
To the point where she's got the Saber Nero Dolphy. She
Oh,
pre-ordered it.
really?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And a whole bunch of other Fate stuff. She's got Saber Lily figures. She's really big on Fate. So um, she helped me fill in some spots
Okay.
on the review of it. Um, do you want to do
Yeah.
the
Let me do
overview of the
the
anime
synopsis.
of what the story is?
Yeah, let me run through this. So, like we said earlier, it's a single episode right now, only 73 minutes long. That has been confirmed. There is additional episodes in the works, so we'll get those later on. Maybe this year, maybe next year. We're not sure when. But what this is about, it's talking about 2015. It's the final era where sorcery still exists. The Chaldea organization,
Chaldea.
Chaldea. I always call it Chaldea. Okay.
No, it's Chaldea.
Okay, Chaldea
Change this now.
organization is portrayed to have numerous projects having guaranteed humanity's existence through the next century. But unfortunately, they discovered that the future they have observed no longer exists. In fact, they calculate that all of humanity will go extinct in 2016. They trace the cause of this event to an anomaly that has appeared in 2004. And to avert the extinction of mankind, they decide to use its sixth experiment, which is time travel, to converting its agents into spirit particles and sending them through time to destroy these space-time oddities. They're thinking to destroy these oddities, it's going to prevent humanity's extinction. They call this mission the Grand Order, and it's the name for those who will rise up against human history for the sake of humans and fight fate itself. That's a small gist of it.
Minor correction, which you hopefully didn't hear. It's anomalies, not oddities.
I just call them. Sorry, I got David Bowie stuck in my head.
It's all right. Time space oddity. There you go.
There we go.
Ground control to Time Agent Tom. Anyway,
so essentially, people turn into masters or servants, and they get sent through time, and they fight.
People don't turn into servants. People get the ability to summon servants. Now,
well,
let me rephrase that. People weren't supposed to turn into servants.
There you go. Yes.
One of the characters does.
Yes.
And the circumstances around it are kind of formulaic, a little obvious, but it was good. And they introduce a whole new class of servant, which makes way for them to have this class in the game. They introduced the Shielder class, which, for those of you who play other MMOs and games, they're tanks.
Yeah, essentially.
They're the tank class. They're the meat shield.
Mm-hmm.
And this one character becomes the first Shielder. And you also they go through, they determine where this anomaly is, and it turns out the anomaly in 2004 is in Fuyuki City. For those of you who have followed the Fate series, you know that this means that they've gone back to the Grail War of, I believe, Fate Zero, which is the one which is the Grail War that took place before Fate Stay Night, which is the one where what's his name's family got blown up, the whole city got burned to hell and back. With a twist.
This is not an M. Night Shyamalan anime series.
No, it basically is. If you think about it, I'm watching this going, "Oh, what a twist!" But it's done better than most of Shyamalan's twists.
Very true.
Somehow, the Grail. Basically, what happens is the Grail War gets corrupted, and with it, Saber gets corrupted, and so do a lot of the servants, through means that I won't go into for spoilers. there's one other servant who appears to be untainted, and it's a caster class,
Mhm.
which makes some interesting bits because the line he makes at the end of it about, next time you summon him as a Lancer class. It's Lancer before
The Lancer we've known in previous
the
incarnations.
Lancer we know and love. In this one, shows up in the Grail War before, was a caster. But he was just as snarky, just as smartassy.
Oh yeah, I look forward to seeing more of him in this. The fact that they already said they were going to add more of these episodes, these specials.
Well, they've got at least 7 of them, because at the
Mhm.
end they said, when they closed that anomaly, which, come on, it's not a spoiler. They close the anomaly. They have to close the anomaly or the story goes nowhere. So it's not a spoiler.
Mhm.
But they discover, I think it was 7 more.
Yes.
So there's fodder for at least 7 more episodes, and it's I'm babbling.
Yeah. Well,
My point on the show is,
let's break this one down
opinion,
a little bit then, real quick. Let's talk about first the animation.
Yes.
The animation is actually quite solid. I won't say it's nearly as detailed as what we got from, say, Fate Zero, but I'd say it's pretty close.
It's damn good.
Mhm.
It's not cheapy anime. They put some work into the effects. The character design, I like the character designs, although Mash is the main characters. You've got Ritsuka Fujimaru, who's the kid who becomes the master. It's always the one that you least expect,
Of course.
which is
He's the kind, naive
formulaic.
one. Yeah, he's the freshman, basically.
Yeah, he's candidate number 48 of 48.
And just so happens
in
this version, magically he now becomes all the way to number 1 because he's the sole survivor. But we won't get into that.
Yeah, we won't go into that because basically shit happens.
Yes.
And he becomes the master. Where life gets a little weird and is how he ends up with his servant, Mash. I really can't go into details on it without being spoilerific. But her character design is another one of the things that I found amazingly formulaic.
It definitely has all the characteristics of just typical fan service outfit in terms of design.
Well, fan servicey in the moe sense.
Yes.
Not fan servicey in the big boobs or anything like that, because she definitely doesn't have big boobs.
But I also look at the line of what's the joke we have always in RPGs, especially JRPGs. The less a woman wears, the more powerful or that she is.
Yeah.
And
but she wears a fair amount. I mean,
more so than you would normally expect. Yes.
Yeah. She's not like, I mean, she's closer to, I would say her outfit is similar to Neptunia.
Except she doesn't do the whole age difference thing,
What?
Except with the difference that she doesn't do this whole age swap thing.
Right. Well, okay, the adult Neptunia.
Yes. Okay.
Not Nepu.
The amount she wears is more than what you expect, but less than you hoped.
Yeah, she doesn't go for the grand outfits like a lot of the other servants.
Right.
Then you've got another character, Olga Mali We're
all horrible with this today.
They just so
Animasphere, yeah.
Her last name.
Yeah, they did.
I'm sorry.
We're horrible with names today.
Oh yeah. Well, the spelling of her name is not anywhere near normal.
No, not at all.
But she's the leader of the Chaldea group.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a very tsundere personality,
a very brash attitude.
Yeah,
that comes across, and you could see that it's like you said, it's a very tsundere character archetype because it does show that she does care and she wants to help and get things done. She doesn't really not know the best way to try to talk people into doing that for her, but
Well, yeah, she's got to be stern and brave and all that other fun shit.
Right.
Then you've got your comedic relief character, which is Dr. Roman.
I like him.
I like Dr. Roman. I really do. And then you've got Professor Lev,
Lev, yeah.
Liner Flauros is his name.
Hmm.
Who kind of looks like when I looked at him, what he reminds me of. Do you remember the Gary Oldman Dracula?
Yes. With
The
the
scene where
long.
he's walking around London in the daytime.
Yeah.
I looked at that. I'm like going, holy shit! It's Gary Oldman animated.
Like I wanted the strut as well, but I didn't get that.
Yeah, no. The only thing he was missing was the purple lenses, and I think actually in one scene he had.
I think
them.
he has the purple lenses. Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Oh, look, it's Vlad. But it was a neat character design.
Yeah.
And stuff happens with him that unfortunately we can't go into without spoilers.
Pacing for the story. Let's get into that real quick.
Okay.
It's very at times formulaic because it's giving you the lowdown on the world building, basically, like what is going on here, how is this going to move forward. There wasn't really much in terms of twists for that. It was just kind of like, okay, this is going to happen, this is next going to happen. Yep, there it goes. That's what's going to happen. And on and so forth.
They could have gone into a little more detail. I think.
I wish they did.
There was a lot of stuff I was going, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so the kid shows up. It's the first scene of the movie. Kid shows up, doesn't know how he got there. He mentions them insisting that he goes somewhere, but they don't mention how he gets there. Mm-hmm. There's like zero backstory on him beyond he's number 48 of 48. Mm-hmm.
Just thrust into an event, and through random circumstances, he doesn't know what to do, and he just becomes his kind self. And because of that, things happen to him where he basically becomes a master. We won't get into more details from that.
Yeah. And then you've got the obligatory cute mascot character who serves virtually no purpose.
Was that Foo or F-O-U? I think is the name of
Fo.
Fo. Yeah.
Fo. Or I think it's Foo, whatever it is.
It's just
that's pretty much how all it says.
I mean, the mascot actually does serve a major purpose in the game later on, but in the anime, we have no idea whatsoever.
At this point,
it's just there to sell, plushies or figures or something.
Exactly. And that brings me to the one thing that I really kind of had a problem with, but I'm willing to overlook.
Bring it up. What was that?
It's a great game or a great anime for an ad. It's a giant advertisement for Fate Go.
Okay, I'm loving this because you are now kind of experiencing what I experienced watching PSO2. When you're just like, I want more out of this, but all this is, it's just no.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you to an extent on PSO2. I was just more into PSO2.
Very true.
So I was willing to overlook a lot of that. That being said, I like and there are a lot of hardcore fans of the Fate series who have some pretty serious issue. One person I saw referred to it as beating the dead horse while raping it.
I laugh because that's pretty
harsh much.
Yeah, but you gotta realize some of these fanboys are so hardcore about this that they're the ones who, like, we joke around, Saber is my wife, but they're like, no, she really is.
Yeah, she is my soulmate.
Yeah,
like
I go out.
Fictional character.
There's a guy I know, awesome guy, very very easy to hang out with, but he literally spends money like no other otaku I know, and it's only for Saber. Only for Saber. All the figures, the t-shirts, beach towels, anything with Saber on it, he had to buy it.
Do I know this person?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But it's just like, damn, that's dedication. Let's call it that.
Yeah. Well, before I didn't know about the game before I watched the anime. Mm-hmm. So at the time I was watching it, I didn't realize it was an ad, although when I saw the mascot character, when I saw Foo, I'm just like, that's just to sell plushies. Yes. That's all it's there for. Yeah. I mean, you and I have been around this long enough. We've dealt enough with industry that we can spot that crap a mile away.
It's another Picasso,
It's like, okay, yeah, that's the Ryo-Oki character, the oh god, what is his name? Make a contract with me, Kyubey.
Kyubey.
That's the Kyubey type character, the cute mascot-y character. And but the story I enjoyed, even
Mhm.
though I only had a passing knowledge of the Fate series storyline.
Right.
I knew basically what it was about, and I was able to figure out before I talked to Nikki which Fate War they'd or which Grail War they'd gone to.
Okay.
Where I
Um.
was like, the oh my god, it was a giant ad, because I was sitting there going, something about this doesn't quite feel right, even though I am enjoying it.
Mhm.
It just seemed a little too cut and dry. Then I found out about the game, and I looked at it, like, oh, that's why. It's kind of like the Subaru anime,
Mhm.
where
Oh,
it was the the
yeah, the
Subaru
magical
magical
girls
girl
that.
anime, where their broomsticks sounded like Subaru cars.
Yeah, and they have magical key to go to their magical clubhouse, but it's all like Subaru car keys to get into
Yeah,
it.
it's all the Pleiades
Yeah.
symbol.
Which,
Um,
to its credit, actually became like a full-fledged series for a
oh
while.
yeah, they ended up making a full series out of
Yeah.
it, but it took them like 4 years.
Yes.
Um, so but like I said, I enjoyed it.
I did too.
It's really good for what it is.
And it's one of those things that it already has a big enough and successful enough franchise behind it that there's going to be something there for everybody at that point. You have a brand new class, people who are hardcore into the games itself. You have new characters to identify with if you wanted to find a part of
Mhm.
yourself in them. You have the cuteness factor, like we just talked about, to sell plushies. You have the badass factor that Saber's always been in every variation of
Yeah,
this
yeah.
game.
Saber's always been there. So
So,
has the Gaelic guy,
mhm.
who was caster in this one, but he becomes Lancer.
so
Um,
it's it's something there for everybody. Would you recommend this to someone to check this out?
it would depend.
Okay.
I would generally say yes, it's worth seeing.
Hmm.
Whether I would recommend it as an oh my god, you've got to see this, would depend on if you were a hardcore fan of the series or not.
Right.
If you've got a lot of experience with Fate, I'd say yes, see it. It's enjoyable,
Hmm.
but you need to be aware of a few things before you go in.
Right. I would.
It's sort of like resetting timelines,
Okay. I
like
would
kind of like what they did with Star Trek movie.
turn it around a little differently. Basically, I would say if you're a fan of RPGs, you want to get ready for this game when this comes out, and give a couple links here about the game itself. And cool, you're hooked on this so far. You're ready to jump into this. Okay, watch this anime, and this is going to give you a quick little primer on what to expect in the beginning of this game itself. That's the way
Hmm.
I would share it with a friend, saying
But I
if
would
you're into
also
RPGs, check out the game, then check out the anime.
okay. I would say that's an option. I would also say that, though, if you've got familiarity with the Fate series,
Mm-hmm.
it's an interesting. I have familiarity with the series. I just haven't read or watched a lot of it.
Okay.
Um, so I don't know a hell of a lot about it.
And that's fine. There's no way for one
But
person to know every type of anime out there on the planet.
I think it's an interesting alteration or potential alteration,
Hmm.
because they basically have to go back and fix the Grail Wars.
There's a lot to fix at this point.
And there's a hell of a lot to fix.
Hmm.
Whether or not they succeed, we're not going to tell you. I mean, they close the anomaly, but do they fix the Grail War in the process?
Right.
That's up to you to find out. But
Stay tuned
um,
while you play this game, probably full of microtransactions.
which is the other thing I was getting to, because the game's going to be free to play. So, and just like PSO2 is,
Mm-hmm.
PSO2 makes its money through microtransactions. And I wish they'd hurry up and release it in the States, but that's a whole other argument we've already had. The fact that they're actually bringing this one into the States actually gives me hope for PSO2 to make it. If they can see,
Yeah, no, that's
if
true.
Fate takes off and gets as popular and starts doing well in the microtransaction department, that might be impetus for Sega to go, hey, wait a minute.
True.
As much money as Aniplex has made off of this, you think they're not going to get behind it?
Yeah. No,
Let's
very
be
true.
honest. Aniplex, I won't say their bread and butter's on Fate, because it's not, because they did Gurren Lagann and a whole bunch of other stuff. But they've made a grip ton of money
Yes, very much so.
off of this.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be foolish for them not to push this. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's in their own best interest.
So. All right. Well, any final thoughts we should talk about before we bring this episode to a close?
If you get a chance to watch the anime, watch it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get into the game, I from what everything I've seen on it, it looks like it's going to be fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. The big thing I'm worried about is the microtransactions. How far and how easily are you going to be able to proceed in the game without them?
Sure.
It's like when Knights of the Old Republic went free to play, I started playing it a little after that. And I managed to go from 0 to 50 without spending any money on it. And that was pretty hard before I started subscribing.
Right. Well, because they seriously hindered the amount of the XP that you earn with versus subscribing.
Yeah, it's like you earn XP 40% less. So it definitely, and there are other items you can't use.
Right.
That type of thing.
Okay.
I mean, none of it's God code stuff, but
very true.
I'm hoping this doesn't turn into a you have to pay to win.
Okay. But besides, there's plenty of other Fate games out there that everybody can play in the meantime before this comes out. There's also
there's Hollow Atraxia.
Boatload of anime that you could watch. I'm a fan of most of it. I just could not get behind Fate Prisma Ilia Zwei or something like that. It's one of the newest ones, but it started like.
Hang on. Let me check because that may be the one I have on here.
Let me check Fate Prisma. Yeah, Fate Prisma Ilia. Great Kyled Linear Prisma Ilia. It's long name. I could not get into it. There were certain aspects of it that I enjoyed, but it was just bordering on something that I wouldn't say hate watching, but it was one of those I've already invested so much time into the franchise, I might as well move forward kind of thing.
Oh, pardon my language, but you're saying it's a grudge fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We've gotten this far. We're gonna leave it at that.
Okay, let's see if this thing boots up. Okay,
But
I've got a Fate game on here. I'm trying to find out which one it is.
Ah, okay. Because there's a bunch out there you guys can enjoy. There's the games, there's the anime, there's OVAs, there's so much out there that is enjoyable for a lot of different reasons.
Fate Extra is the one I've got.
Fate
on here.
Extra is the one you have. Okay. Well, that's cool. I still need to play a few of the games myself, but I need to find time for that.
Well,
but now that I've beaten Zelda, I can actually have more time to play games. Maybe I'll jump back into those.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna be it for this episode. We've covered a hell of a lot, and we've talked to your ears.
We've gone a little longer than usual, but that's okay.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have suggestions for stuff for us to review, or for articles for us to talk about, subjects, let us know. Our email address is anibreakshow@gmail.com. Once again, that's anibreakshow@gmail.com.
We'll have it down there.
Read your emails on the air. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
If you like it, click like.
Please, and let friends know. If you didn't like it, don't do that. All right, guys. Have a great night. For AniBreak 2.0, I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And you guys have a great one. Bye, everybody.
Take care, guys. Bye.